Hello, everyone. Welcome to the recording.
I'm Alan.
Joe's hosting now.
Go on.
We haven't discussed the order in which we're going to say our names.
I'm Evelyn.
I'm George.
I don't know which order I'm in on anyone's screens.
You
It's
already
very
introduced yourself.
I'm
disconcerting.
Alexis, and Joe.
Did I?
you're
Okay,
last.
hello.
So,
Hello, I'm Joe.
so it's week 3 of you can tell the mental health thing's going well. Week 3.
We talked about deflecting with humour today.
We did indeed. That was a big thing. None of us did it apparently.
No, we all do it.
We're
How-
doing
all of
it
us
right
do it.
now.
Week
I don't-
3, no survivors.
It's
We're
seriously,
the
it was,
last remaining ones.
we literally deflecting with. I think that thing about some people use humour. as a
Self-deprecating
deflection.
humour.
Yeah, it was. Did anyone get a chance to take that test?
What
I've
test?
got it.
I've put the link up there, but because he said there's.
Oh, that test.
It talks about how you use your humor, and then it analyzes to tell you which is there. I literally got, I think, there's 4 different areas of humor that you use, including, I think it was aggressive, self-deprecating, and I literally got above average on all of them. So, yeah, I have an unhealthy humor.
Well
Next,
done, Alan. You're a
Healthy.
funny person. Congratulations.
yeah, allegedly.
You're the next Michael McIntyre.
I thought you said I was a funny person.
Oh,
Wow.
I find Michael McIntyre funny.
I think this was a no wait, I don't know which word. Unconscious or self-consciously?
We want
know
to
which
work in
one.
the media industry, and it's quite a spicy industry to be in because of the amount of hate you get.
The stress energy has to go somewhere, so might as well be funny about it.
oh! I said if you make a bad Star Wars film, Ryan Johnson, you get hated for it. You might as well joke about it.
If you make a bad Doctor Who tenure, because it's not just one series, it's a whole tenure, then you're gonna get judged for it.
You haven't said the
So
name.
you may
Who
as
could you
well
be
be
talking about?
self-deprecating about it first.
How's everyone's mental health?
I mean, it took a hit in the last few minutes.
Because it's interesting we mentioned that, because obviously, yeah, you're absolutely right. My experiences within the creative industries, both as kind of, in theatre and TV and film, it's been very similar sets of humour. It's the same people going to all those areas, and the same people sit there under this intense pressure situation and just take the piss out of each other. That is just a
It's
standard.
almost like you're describing the job of a media person, Alan.
But yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because there's the high pressure, there's the high creativity. So it just seems, I don't know if it's a personality type or not, but
All of a sudden, I don't want to become a filmmaker anymore.
I noticed well, just being on like a media course, you notice how everyone's the same in the sense of everyone's humor is the same because everyone just takes the piss out of each other, but then we all have different personalities. So it's interesting because you end up getting along with most of the people on a media course and media
And we
industry.
wonder why there aren't as many comedy programs anymore. It's because there's people like us in charge.
It's interesting because, like, when you look at the statistics of things, the media industry, like the arts industry in general, attracts more people who have been through shit,
Mhm.
like than other industries. So, like, neurodiverse people, people with mental health issues, so on and so forth, tend to gravitate towards the arts industries in general. And media industries and practical arts tend to attract the people who have dealt with it for the longest without like ever getting a diagnosis or help when they did studies. For example, it attracts a lot of late diagnosis, autism, ADHD, and personality disorders more so than your average job, especially when you compare it to construction, which is often likened due to hours and how it works, like from a purely like structural basis of how like the work day would flow. The percentage is a lot higher, and like deflecting humor and what was it, effective humor, like making friends using humor, self-deprecating humor, and hyping yourself up humor are common like strategies for coping with it. And then there's all us who are going into the media industry who are always joking about all these things.
As I
And then
think-
we can make highly emotive pieces of film, TV, and literature and artwork and stuff like that as a
Using
way
our
of expressing
emotion.
our weird and unusual brains.
Just using emotion. You make
Well-
money from it.
Well, that's the point, because that's what we're doing. We're manipulating people, so we are using emotion. So quite often we use our own emotion. So we need a really strong coping mechanism, because we're actually, we're exposing our deepest, dark, innermost thoughts here quite often.
Media itself is a coping mechanism for showing people what you're thinking without telling them who was thinking that.
That's a really good point.
If you get what I mean.
I think, that's a really good point.
We live in an industry that is just one big
It
coping
was like there was mentioned a lot of us write stories to deal with emotions, and what are we doing? We're telling stories and creating stories. Like,
I have a terrible habit of doing that and then never finishing
Me
any
too.
of the stories. I have just like a hard drive full of unfinished
Yeah,
Yeah, me
stories.
too. I do that.
But then,
I have one right now where every time I start Word, it just goes, "You have one auto-saved document. Do you want to get rid of it?" And I always click no, and I never look at it ever because I know it's an unfinished story.
I usually like I write poems as well with voice. I write poems as well that to deal with I guess as a coping mechanism. It only works for so long until I just run out of things to say, unless I'm just repeating myself.
There aren't enough words in the English language to explain someone's brain enough times.
No, because if someone read that, you end up reading the same thing but on it slightly different worded.
how do we stop it going too far? How do we put other boundaries in place?
listen to people. So like if someone is like, I don't like you making jokes about that, then don't make jokes about that anymore. Like everyone's gonna take the piss out of everyone else, but like if someone's actually gonna get like hurt or like upset about it, just don't. Like it's not that difficult.
There's quite a simple one. It's if you're gonna feel guilty about it later, don't say it now.
That's really good. I like that. It's interesting
It's
because
quite a simple one.
because like I say, I think context is really important. I think the big difference, because I've worked on building sites where it doesn't stop and it becomes bullying really quickly. And I've worked, I mean, seriously, working in live theatre is one of the best. It's literally everyone will take the piss, will be stupid. I mean, oh my god, I played some incredibly offensive games. As soon as the curtain is there, as soon as the audience is, it's completely different. And it's what I found fascinating with these things is here's the banter, here's the playing, and at a moment's notice, like a coin toss hits the floor, and it's like you turn, and it's just completely professional. And this ability,
like
to
a
do that-
nail, like a nail.
I don't know
drop.
what I mean. I'm just kind of my brain's fried. I'm mixing. I'm I was about to say
What?
emasculating my metaphors.
Are you tired, Alan?
I think I am. So I'm using humour to mask it.
That's
But
Alan,
the
are you
interesting thing is-
struggling from the popular sleep inertia?
yeah,
That's
pretty
very
much.
popular within media people. It's the
I think it is.
grogginess you feel all day after not having enough sleep and waking up in a bad way.
Mhm. Oh god, all the time. But what I noticed,
I find that it's better to not use an alarm and just leave your curtains open because then the natural sunlight will wake you
That-
up and you don't have to listen to the bleeping of an alarm
There's
clock.
nothing.
I don't have a problem with that.
Because actually pressing snooze on an alarm clock can disrupt your sleeping pattern. Because you're telling your brain you want to go back to sleep, and then when it goes off 5 minutes later, it shocks your brain a lot, and then that's when you get the sleep inertia.
Oh,
And it's
I see.
something I do religiously, clicking the snooze switch. I got down this rabbit hole of research last night.
really?
It was great. I had fun.
The tiredness
Right.
that's common in the media industry probably relates to the stress anyway. Like you've got people working technically 10-hour days, but probably longer. Like the same with like live shows and stuff like that, like you were saying. Like you're working a long time, usually in a very concentrated period of time. And like sleep is a thing lots of people struggle with.
Mm.
Which isn't going to help if you're all tired as well. And then like so on and so
It
forth.
doesn't help that teenagers' brains are meant to work better in the afternoons and evenings. And funnily enough, we're made by adults to get up at 7:30 in the morning and go to lessons at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull
Because
you up
there's
on that sentence there. Teenagers, brains, and working all in the same sentence shouldn't really happen.
They do work, but it's something that goes back to like the cavemen times.
Yeah, it's
Because we had to go defend people
because
because we were useless.
it also is very common in people with neurodiverse people, which are again really popular in the media. There's a theme running here, going in circles.
Is it a trait of one?
Right, I'm going to pull this back on task because we've got 15 minutes left. Right, 3 things that you're grateful for, because this is the thing that Alex was saying about kind of really reflecting that, putting this kind of into a positive thing. Yeah, we're laughing. I think this positive thing, using humor, is just a really good way of kind of switching the brain into a positive mindset and all that kind of stuff. So, what 3 things are we grateful for? Joe, do you want to share your board to start us off?
I have 4.
Oh god,
Because I had 4 colors, and I was like, I'm not putting 3 of the 4 colors on here. I'll do all 4. So my 4 are music. Music is number 1. Music is everything. Emotive music is the best. I like acoustic versions because they're cool. The sound of silence is on my board next. Because it's just a nice noise. You've got a bit of white noise. You've got whatever bird seems to be yapping away at 3 in the morning. You've got whatever else includes like silence. It's just like a nice sound to listen to. It's like quite calming. I know that some people don't find it like that, but you know, it works for me. YouTube is next. Because YouTube is where you go to hide yourself from whatever your brain may be experiencing currently. And the other one is books, TV series, and films, because they provide a world of escaping for you to just kind of forget stuff that you don't need to be thinking about at the present moment. That's why books are great before bed. They stop you thinking about random bad things before you sleep.
I like to do puzzles.
I like fiction books the best because they provide a
In
world.
fact, I actually do this whenever I get bored. I do this.
Excellent.
Yeah, I did the first one. I did Aliens. In a week, I did it.
That's brilliant. No, that's amazing, Joe. Thanks so much for that. Who wants to go next with and remember, it could be between 1 and 4.
Okay, so the first one I'd say is I'm very, very grateful for having the little things in life, such as the granddad's ring. I have a watch as well that I like to wear. And the second thing I'm also very grateful of is music. I think music really motivates me for my work ethic. That's how I get my best quality projects done. And my third thing that I'm very grateful of is having the things around me when I don't work hard. I have a bed, I have a house, I have a family, a loving family, and I have 2 annoying dogs and 2 sisters. I'm very grateful for having a loving family.
Brilliant.
My one was very serious, and Joe's. I do.
That was. Although I did like the way you kind of got that, because it almost made it sound like you like ritual. So it's like having the ring of the watch. It's more of a ritual thing, kind of. Right? Yeah, it's kind of.
I feel connected because these little things represent people, and I like feeling connected with people.
I think we can all agree that music is like one of the best things in the world.
Yeah. Oh,
just like it's good, it exists.
Yeah.
Alan, you love music.
Absolutely. Once we get towards the end, if we've got time, I'll tell you my bit about music a little bit more. But anyway, who wants to go next?
I don't mind. I think I just thought about it on the spot, but yes, 4 things I'm grateful for is, I mean, they all come together as like a distraction, but games, so escapism, music. The weird thing of music, I feel it's more better when listening to the songs that you're already depressed about. So you end up becoming more depressed listening to them. But in the end, when a few hours pass, you'll kind of reevaluate yourself. Grateful for like to be able to watch like series and or anime online, another form of escapism. And something recently I've discovered is my brother is to be able to talk to him if need to be. If I need someone close to that is only for the past 2 years that me and him have actually started to, I guess, properly bond.
That's really nice, actually. Yeah, I like that. It's interesting. I'm going to associate the kind of stuff like games and anime. That's the similar thing of YouTube that Joe was saying, that kind of way to vanish. But yeah, having that
We're all
human
coping.
connection. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, brilliant. I really like that. Who fancies going next?
Sure, why not? I'm grateful for, well, especially at the moment, just having some sort of routine and just having and just having something that I know that even if my day's just going awfully, I'll still have that routine. It's like it's like at the moment I'll have like a Monday lesson which I know, oh, I've got that. That's always a good laugh, and I can look forward to that, and then I have the rest of the day to kind of figure out what I'm going to do. So it's kind of like just knowing there's something for me to wake up to, if that makes sense.
Completely.
I think I'm also just grateful to have people around me, basically, just people.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's interesting because it almost feels like the routine, like with Jack talking about his things. It's almost like a ritual element of it. You've got something where it's just kind of there's something that's also there, so you don't need to think about it. You can also go to it. Something like a certain.
Yeah, definitely.
You can use. That's really nice. Evie.
I'm grateful to have like a safe educational environment that's like free and like teachers who aren't shy and stuff like that, and like peers who aren't shy and stuff like that. Like I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for Joe. He's hilarious.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated.
And I'm grateful for like some of the communities I'm in and being able to like access them and talk to people who are like me. Like that makes a difference.
That's brilliant. That's
Alec,
amazing.
you look so concerned.
No, it's just kind of. I just started thinking, just realising it kind of goes. I'm grateful this kind of community I have, or this group of people I know who are kind of these peers I have on the course, and literally the whole group of you is heading to Falmouth, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've had like experiences with not having great people who I thought were friends who weren't really friends and stuff like that, and like not having great teachers who didn't actually care about their
Teachers
students
who
a lot
won
of the time.
talent.
Yeah, teachers weren't Alan. Teachers who just didn't care or didn't want to listen to pupils. And I feel like it makes a lot of difference when you start seeing like these people are actually nice, these people actually care. It makes a massive difference to how things seem in the picture.
Now, what's interesting at the moment, there's a lot of research coming out that kind of there was a university course which was looking at happiness as well as the main thing they're looking at, and the people on the course measure a hell of a lot more happy, strangely enough, because they're studying happiness, but also the results they're getting for everything else in that are a lot better. It's almost like you get a bunch of people and you educate them, you make sure they're happy, you make sure they're looked after, you make sure their well-being is under control, and suddenly everything else falls into place. I think Maslow might have mentioned something about this about 70 or 80 years ago, and I just don't quite understand how people ignore
Can I
that.
add something, Alan?
Yeah, of course you can.
I'm also grateful to have knowledge and know the things that I know, because if I didn't go through education, I doubt I'd know half the stuff I know if I hadn't have gone into education.
there's the opportunity for education, and then there's the person accessing that opportunity for education.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing.
Definitely.
It's you have put an awful, all of you actually have put a huge amount of effort into what you're doing, and that, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, that's a brilliant thing. Seriously.
Can I add one, actually? I'm grateful for mindless chatter.
Yeah. Same.
Because no, there is a reason behind it. There is a reason behind it. It's because, like, when you don't want to kind of talk about anything too kind of heavy, if you know what I mean, like, just to know that there's people that are kind of like they're bothered enough and that they care enough about you to just want to talk to you, and actually talking to people, it does make a big difference.
Makes a huge difference. Interesting. All the research is just showing, from neuroscientific point of view, that you have people and they're happy, they end up being more productive. So this idea in the workplace, you hit people till they work harder, doesn't work. Basically, you're nice and you find out what you help them and make sure they don't have things to worry about. And actually, then they go, "Oh, I have a purpose to work," and that does that. Same with education. You don't learn. Actually, the best way to get people to learn is to make them laugh.
I mean, like, if you judge.
Anyway, I'm going to see you all later. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to next week's session. I think
It's
there's going
fine,
to be a lot
Alan.
more
With all of the
reflection
political
going
stuff
on,
that
so-
you're going to cut out of this video, it'll only be like a quarter of an hour long in the end.
Fine.
Sorry, Alan, we're
5
definitely
minutes.
not going to stay in the school after you stop recording. This is
Bye,
the
Alan.
for any of us.
Bye.
See you later. Thank you very much.